Hey guys, welcome to 4PlayerAnimecast. It is the 6th of July, currently 10:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here in the States. And it is obviously going through, right after 4th of July for anybody that actually cares or is in the States, going through a blistering hot summer, as is usual these last couple of years. And we are smack dab at the start of the summer 2019 season. A lot of the episodes won't have come out, especially a lot of sort of the larger names, and we're getting ready to start talking about it. But anyways, I am, as usual, your host, Spire, and with me are my usual compatriots, partners in crime, Dark,
Hey.
Nier,
Hello.
and Toast, who is in the process of setting up his phone charger? Question mark.
Near.
All right.
Near. I got Sumana again. Do I reroll? Is he good?
Yes.
All right.
This is fucking awful.
Oh my god, what is this? What are these beepings?
Oh my god. Alright, so again, we apologize for delaying this week. We didn't really manage, or rather I didn't calculate this correctly. And,
I did, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Okay,
Stop
sure.
it!
So I miscalculated and they took an extra week break. And so we had, last week there were no episodes out, so we had to delay it a week. But again, now we have a lot of the episodes out, and we're gonna get ready to roll. So I guess I'll start off. Just the past couple of weeks. Obviously, the break transition was a little bit interesting, but a lot of the interesting stuff came out. Has Finland Saga come out yet?
No.
Do you know? Okay, no. A lot of the bigger names will also start coming out. In the next couple of weeks or so, or in next week.
Couple of days. Really.
Yeah, next couple of days, really. Pretty much by next week, everything should have come out. It's been pretty interesting because actually we've had a very first world problem on our podcast these past couple of days because we've been trying to find series that, if you guys haven't noticed by now, at the beginning of the season we try to cover a lot of stuff that's more episodic, a lot of stuff that can be kind of spieled pretty succinctly without us having to really go through some sort of complex storyline. And in the later episodes we try to cover the more important, the more complex, the more involved stuff. But a lot of the series this season around are actually pretty involved, pretty complex, thorough storylines, stuff like that. So it's very, it's been pretty interesting. It's all, again, obviously a very first world problem, being like, oh, why are there so many interesting series? But it is what it is. So we'll cover what we can this time around, and next episode I will obviously have a lot more interesting, bigger brands coming up. Pretty quiet on my side, real life going on. 4th of July celebration was okay. We had some burgers and the usual, sausages and stuff like that. Nothing really unusual going on here. Been fighting off a little bit of, been going through a couple of events. There's some anniversary and summer events going on in mobile games. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Dark. Have your past 3 weeks or so been?
Been watching all them new shows
all of the new shows.
and playing Final Fantasy 14. That's pretty much it.
The standard? Okay. Nier.
You know.
The huge. The huge.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 Online A Realm Reborn Shadowbringers expansion pack trademark. And it's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
I like it a lot. I've also been not playing Shadowverse because it's fucking awful right now.
I mean, pretty much everybody I actually know that started out, became bigger through Shadowverse in terms of reaching new people or whatever, or audiences, have pretty much all switched to MTG as far as I know. It's kind of fucked up.
I'm not really interested in Magic though.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is like the people who are like really into like card games have pretty much like all moved to MTG.
Yeah. It's just I mean, I might make it a call out. I don't know, but I'll probably talk about Shoutouts later.
Okay.
But yeah, just been doing the
Just been-
usual.
Yeah, doing the usual. Yeah. And Toast, other than trying to find your phone charger, what have you been up to these past 3 weeks?
Spire, is Love Live Sunshine good?
What do you the anime or the general franchise?
Moe can change me and Myroid. Simulation, install.
What
What
the
is
fuck are
this?
you talking about?
What is this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Beautiful clothes, Moe can gotcha.
I still don't know what you're talking
Talking about a Love Live fucking mobile game?
Install.
about.
What?
I mean, the
It's
only
probably not
real
good.
mobile game I know of is School Festival, which is the rhythm game.
Oh wait,
but
near. Isn't Duel
don't
Links
know.
mobile? No, I don't
mean,
want to.
there's probably a mobile version.
all right, Toast, what have you been up to these past 3 weeks?
Apparently trying to find fucking MOBA games.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So, when was the last episode?
It was
3
15th
weeks
of
ago?
June. Yeah, 15th of June.
What? So I watched Inuyasha again,
Okay.
and Spire, you watched Inuyasha, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't watch Inuyasha. I just read the entire manga.
So you know about the movies, right?
I know of the movies.
What's the correct
haven't-
order to watch the movies in, or what's the correct order of best Inuyasha?
I
movies or the
literally
worst?
said I know of the movies. I wouldn't know which order would be the best. I'm assuming whichever one follows the chronological timeline in the story.
No. See, Spire. Some people say that the fourth movie, Fire on the Mystic Island, is the best Inuyasha movie because it looks most like the anime. But
I mean, that's not. You said it was the best. Like I defer to you or
but
whoever.
that's wrong.
which is-
That's wrong because
But that's not the question you asked me, which is what order should you watch them in?
Yeah, well, shut up.
but they're
I know.
You already proved you don't know anything about it.
They're wrong.
So
they're
I
wrong
know.
because it has the
I know.
it's the weakest storyline out of all of them, and whatever. Because Inuyasha movies 1 through 3
Okay.
all look like the manga and whatnot. Movie 3 is pretty good because it has some Sesshomaru stuff and their father, so it's passable. Number 1 is fine because it introduces that it's like the first Inuyasha movie, so it's the early prototype, and it's all right. There's a moth, so what? Now
Yeah.
then we get to the second Inuyasha movie, where it's all about. Aspire, you watch anime, right?
Yeah, they say
Do
that
you
I
know?
do. Yeah,
What
people
about
imply that, yes.
what about Toho? You know what that is, right?
Somewhat, yes.
What's the name of the neat princess? That's not Patchy.
What are the best Toho movies to watch?
the best soundless Toho.
Memories of
movies to watch.
Phantasm.
That's the important part. That's the important. Soundless or with sound is
Near, let me introduce you to Memories of Phantasm. Those are really
All right.
good.
So where you can
what
you
else did you do
Yeah,
other
what
than
else
watch
did you do other than watch
Inuyasha?
mixed up versions of Inuyasha films?
Since we're going to abridge this, the best Inuyasha movies are number 2, Castle Beyond the Looking Glass. Number 1, Affections Touching Across Time. Number 3, Swords of the Honored Ruler or whatever. And number 4, Fire on the Mystic Island. Anyone who disagrees with that is a liar and a faker.
Again, I defer to you in this case, but that is again not the question you asked me, so I don't know. I don't know how
What
to-
else did I watch? Everything that I watched this season is good. That's it.
If you,
That's not a thing that you watched.
I watched the good things.
At least
like,
it's optimistic, though, you know?
Yeah. But
So,
Either
you mean from like right now? What I watched in 3 weeks?
yeah, sure.
Usually
What have you
question.
watched from the new season?
I watched Dumbbell, Mao-sama, Uchimusume,
Okay.
Pissing Survival Island, I don't remember the name, but it's the one with that's the one where I was like, hey, she pees on that one
I
chick.
think it's
for
called
salt.
like,
Sona desu ka?
yeah, isn't it like, do you need help or something, right?
Yeah, Are You Lost is a localization,
Are
but
You
the
Lost, yeah.
transliteration is like, oh, is that so? I think that's the transliteration.
That I watched One Piece. What is it? Movie Gold? Movie Z? The one with the gold dude. I think it's gold.
Okay.
I skipped out. I forgot to watch the Don Barrow movie in theaters. My
The
bad.
Danberu movie? Yeah, you mean
Yeah.
the Danmachi movie?
Yeah,
He
Don
definitely
Machi
had
movie.
The Danmachi movie. I think
My
you're
bad. I
right.
forgot. It
Yeah,
was
two different series.
it was on the 23rd, but I was like, isn't this on the 26th? And I was like, oh, oops.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you've been pretty.
There was
busy.
also what was Quan Chi Gao show this season? Did it come out? I didn't watch that.
I don't know. I forget if we covered that series actually, but
I did.
I know.
It's the one with that's the one that's not DFO, but is actually DFO. You can't
Well,
you can't
that
lie to
seems
me.
very-
What is it called? The King's Avatar? Yeah, that's the one.
Ah, okay. King's Avatar new season stuff like that. Okay, that's pretty interesting. But anyways, we'll just move right on.
I
to
also
this one.
watched.
Yes. Toast.
Huh?
Would you like to finish up?
What did you also watch?
What was it called? I forgot.
Yeah, it must have been.
Oh.
Must have been great.
Thank you for interrupting.
Kangan Ashura.
Kengan Ashura, yes. So
That's
okay. So Toast has been pretty busy, and obviously he'll cover some.
This
of the series.
season, I'll say it right now. This season is the best season of 2019 to date.
We'll see about that. Well, okay, there's.
I don't know.
like,
I haven't watched
time around.
anything that wasn't a banger. As of
Okay.
yet.
Yeah,
Well, definitely there are a lot of interesting series this time around, but again, we'll see how it unfolds as the season continues. And let's just start right off here. Dark. What do you want to cover today?
Wow, I'm covering Tejina Senpai,
Mhm.
or also known as Magical Senpai.
Is that the one that looks like a Sobi Asubase but not?
No,
That is not. That's Joshikose. No, Joshikose.
that's Joshikose.
I should say Mutatsukai, I think.
Yeah, Magical Senpai is about.
Wait, are we talking about real anime now?
As opposed to
we
fake anime.
sure are.
All right, there you go. Continue.
Thank you.
Verified real
Um,
anime, by the way.
100% fresh,
Black eggs anime
non-GMO,
right here.
non-GMO
Grass-fed.
anime, gluten-free, free range.
For sure.
But yeah, so to start off, our main character is named Assistant,
Yeah, I just.
and
Like it-
our
Is it like mangaka do assistant where his name is Ashizu, which is like assistant?
no, it's just straight up Assistant.
Well,
They don't actually have names, I don't think, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, they
almost
don't have
positive. They don't have. They're not named at all.
Well, the main character has the name. But,
And how come her name's Tejina?
Oh, does he really?
It's Tejina, right, or whatever, or is that?
Is it? I don't know. I only saw it as listed as Senpai and Assistant. I only heard them call each other that in the first episode. So
It might be.
Let me.
Oh, okay, no.
'cause
Yeah,
there's even
you're
a
right.
gag. There's even a gag where.
I thought Tejina was like her like gag name, because Tejina means like magic, like like play magic, conjuring magic, stuff like that. Little.
Yeah,
I thought that they put that as her name, but it's actually not. It's just
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a few gags with that too, actually, in the first episode where he like goes to say something to her or something, and then he's like, "Wait, I don't even remember. I don't even know her name." But
Isn't it
never does
Tejina?
find it out. No,
Yeah.
it sure is not.
And who's the
No,
Tejina?
no.
Who's Tejina?
The Tejina just means magic, like conjuring magic or like little like magic tricks and stuff like that. That's what
Yeah,
it means.
and she is the senpai of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so our main character basically just is Actually, I should preface this with this. It's a short, 12-minute short, so
Mhm.
pretty much like the only one of those I've
Wow,
seen
you
this season
cheated.
so far.
It's very interesting because it's like it's not really a short in a sense because even a long series or a full series is like 18 minutes, right? Minus OPED, etc., etc., etc. So it's like, is it really short if it's already like 2/3 of the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's 12 minutes. It's split up into basically, I guess, like the manga chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the basic premise is the main character is trying to find a club to join at school, but he doesn't really want to do anything too crazy. He wanted to just, be able to play the video games.
Yeah.
Me too.
But then he stumbles upon
Just like me.
Magic Club. And when he
Okay.
opens the door, he was like, "Wow, that this seems like it could be pretty cool. Like magic tricks are fun." And he opens the door, and Senpai is there, and she essentially just ropes him into becoming her quote unquote assistant. And that just pretty much plays into hijinks of her screwing up magic tricks over and over again.
Right. So I think it's very interesting. I'm not sure whether I would say my feelings for this are like worried or whether.
So hold on. Is it real magic or real fake magic?
Real
It's
fake magic.
real fake magic,
So like
Yes.
like David Blaine magic or like
Yes.
pretty much.
or Chris Angel.
Like she tries to, pop pull a dove out of a hat, but
Yeah,
the
the
dove
usual
flew
stuff.
off like 5 minutes earlier when the assistant saw it.
Okay, so it's not Mind Freak. It's
No, it's not
No,
quite
no,
mind
no.
freak. It's like show magic.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it has not basics, but it's a theme around show magic, as Dark said. But I'm not sure whether I want to say I feel worried about this in a sense because the idea is it's like what? Near, did you want to say something? So I was kind of I don't know whether I would say it's worrying exactly, but the pacing is very like the pacing itself is very on the nose. Do you get what I mean, Dark?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty
It's
one
very
for
like
one
it's
with
very
like
like 1-2
every
punch.
situation.
It's just
Yeah.
1-2 punch. It's like boom, here's the magic trick failure. Boom, here's the fan service. Boom, here's the magic trick failure. Boom, here's the senpai in like another lead pose or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's very
I think
it doesn't let go.
Yeah. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm worried about that either. Like I was kind of for that by the end of it. I thought it was fine. Thought it was pretty decent fun. Especially
I mean,
with
I
the
think it's
assistant
fun.
playing like the straight man.
Right. I do think it's fun. I just think it's a little bit like a formula that's sort of made to overwhelm, regardless of whatever sort of quality. Like Tejina Senpai's quality right now is like Tejina Senpai's quality is pretty decent right now. In terms of like the specific like magic trick mixing in magic trick trivia and like how she kind of like fails and stuff like that versus the specifics the more like lewd scenes she gets into, stuff like that. I'm just balancing it out, but I feel like even if it wasn't as good, it would still be in a sense accepted/acceptable because it's so like overwhelming. You're just getting stuff. It's like being shoved into your throat. You know what I mean? Like that's what I said. Like not. I don't know if I would say worrying, but I feel like it's just like a formula designed to kind of run you over.
Yeah, it's pretty breakneck. Like
Yeah.
you don't really have much time to even digest it. Really, I mean that's kind of like what I thought about the like some of the lewd scenes. I thought was pretty funny. It's like they really just snap right past that.
Right. It's like boom, here's your value. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go on.
yeah. It's like it's like all right, here's your fan service, and he like opens the box,
yeah.
and she's in it, and then he just like the assistant literally says, "This is too much," and just closes it immediately. and then we're on to the next scene. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
Interesting.
So Spire.
Yeah?
You know what Tejina Senpai is, right?
Yes.
You read the manga like me?
No, I have not read the manga.
Okay. Who would win in a fight? Tejina Senpai or Dylan from Asobi nin Wakenja ni Tenshoku Dekiro Tite Shite Yamishita. What?
I
don't
don't
even
know which light
I don't know
novel.
what series that is.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know.
It's the one where the jester playboy dude with the magic tricks he job changes to sage, and then
Oh, I think I've seen that, but I haven't.
and
I've
then
only bookmarked it.
and then there's the
haven't
big
really.
the big booby knight person and the big booby cat eared thief person.
As is usual, right? But I am unsure about who would win in that
I'm
fight.
pretty sure Tejina would win. She's got a higher luck stat, right?
Well,
I don't know if I
in
would
some
call
sense,
what happens to her
a
luck, but
luck
sure.
for other people maybe. But yeah, overall, what are your kind of thoughts on how the package is?
Is it
I think
let
it's
me
pretty
ask
good.
this. Is it better? How would you compare it to something else to something similar? Let's say what did I say earlier?
You said Dagashi Kashi,
Yeah, there
but
you
I don't
go.
think they're very similar.
Are you
It definitely
sure?
has less trivia. It has a lot less trivia. I would say that would be my only complaint. Is I wish there was more trivia. Like I wish each thing had some kind of
in the
trivia.
first episode where like it had the system, like more of the trick and stuff like that. More
Yeah,
of
it
that.
had like it just had like the dove explanation, and that was like kind of the only trivia that was there.
So what is the dove
Um,
explanation?
It was just that they keep doves. That doves are essentially like they're just pure like white pigeons, and they keep doves rather than regular pigeons because not only do they look nicer, but they're also smaller and easy to handle
How do they fit in the hat? Do they like drug them?
because they're small. No, they
Just
put them in
drug
a hat. They
the pigeons.
train them to go in a hat. It's a bird.
I thought magicians like drug rabbits in their sleeves so they don't like scream and bite them when they take them out.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I
know about
don't. I don't think the taking the rabbits out by their ears is a realistic thing. It's just something that happens in like animation, for instance. I think that's how that works.
I don't
you
I,
understand
like
that.
I don't you know you can go to the vet and ask them for like sleep drugs, right? It's like
Yeah,
20
but
bucks. That's like 20 bucks for
What
for
I'm
a-
saying is that the magicians probably handle the rabbits better, so they don't freak
see,
out even
but-
if you don't.
Yeah,
drug
well, Spire, if you didn't want to do that, you could just go to the vet and get some
Yeah.
drugs.
Spire,
So
Spire, this Tejina
who's the idiot?
Yeah,
now?
Spire. This Tejina Senpai is obviously an amateur, and you don't want to.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's easier to just get some vet drugs, drug them up, and then like pull them out of the hat, and then they won't run away.
It's like
Toast
steroids in a
run-
competition.
Toast
It's
is
like-
running the fucking worst carnival ever created.
it's,
It's like drugged up fucking
it's like-
animal.
It's like steroids before a competition. It's like you don't want to go natural, so you just like.
I mean,
go
but
for
I
the
mean,
drugs.
like I don't think you can drug pigeons though, because isn't the half of the magic supposed to be they fly away? If you drug them, then they'll just like fall on.
Yeah,
to the
I don't
ground.
think you're really supposed to drug animals using magic. But
just like it's like you set them down and then they just like.
yeah, they just sit there.
Anyways, again, if
But
you,
yeah, so
yeah,
I would say my one major complaint is that just it's lacking in trivia, but I guess at the same time it would be hard to do trivia on top of multiple skits with each episode. Like I feel like that would require it to be like a full then to
Yeah,
have
the-
like
the-
another
the short
5
format
minutes of
makes-
trivia or something.
yeah, the short format makes it a little bit hard to do the three ball sort of juggling trick of like doing the trivia in more detail and doing the gag stuff and doing the more like lewd scenes and stuff like that.
You
and
know,
looping them all constantly, right?
I tried juggling one time, and how do you juggle a third ball? I can only do two.
You have to have them in the air at all times.
I think
Just so
the
you know.
idea is for three balls, like you're throwing one at the same time as you're catching the other one, or catching
Yeah.
the third one. That's
How do you
You're
do
supposed
that?
to loop them under.
What?
With 2 hands.
Yeah, you
Two
loop.
hands.
So
Throw
you throw.
one at
All right,
each
so let's explain juggling really quick. So let's say you have one ball in your left hand, one in your right hand, and then there's one in the air above your right hand. You throw the one up from your right hand, and you catch the one that's in the air while it comes down. You
That's
repeat
a
that
logical
process,
fallacy, okay?
That's I don't know, man. Like
but then add the left hand ball into the mix, and there you go. Now you've juggled.
that sounds super confusing, man. Because like Zoro wields 3
Well, then
swords,
it's
right?
fucking magic. I
Zoro-
don't know what to tell
Gravity
you.
makes the balls fall. Like,
Zoro-
how am I
You
supposed
know what's
to
not a
keep them in the
magic
air?
trick, by the way? Juggling.
Zoro wields
I don't think.
Zoro wields 3 swords, but he doesn't juggle them. Like he has one in his mouth.
Well, whatever.
Like the last time he juggled a sword, he nearly cut his arm off.
I think juggling 3 balls is a little bit easier than that. But anyways, we'll have to move on. Again,
Well, I
thank you,
mean, I was
Darko.
just gonna say for one last fucking thing.
Yeah.
If you like just hearing, Hondo Kaide
Who's
yell
that?
about shit, then there you go. It's the show for you.
Who's
Yeah.
Hondo Kaide? What'd she do?
She's most famous for her role in Comic Girls as the main character.
It says here she was the Hips of
She was a
Babylon
vampire.
girl in Keijo.
She did the main girl in Zombieland Saga.
Yeah,
yeah.
as well as the vampire
Tats-
girl in Debbie
Yeah.
Chan.
But yeah, so
Oh, her. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
anyways, again, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover.
Would you recommend it to people who like to watch Chris Angel's Mind Freak or any other magic show?
No, not quite.
Not quite.
I
yeah.
wouldn't recommend it for someone who likes explained magic tricks and whatnot.
Like aspiring magicians.
I don't know about that, but anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover Tejina Senpai again. I guess this would be a series a little bit more light, short series, although it's a little bit longer at 12 minutes. But if you want to check it out, have that sort of breakneck pace between the rom-com version of it and then the magical, the sort of the magical bits and how they flub it up. Please do check it out. And moving on, Nier, what do you have for us today?
Wow. I watched a little show called Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, definitely one of the bigger names this season. Even if
Yeah.
it is an original, right? No,
No, this is a
it's a
manga
manga.
original.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite a popular manga too. Making waves, I guess. This is adapted by TMS Entertainment. Fairly big studio.
Yeah. They do a lot of shonen series, right? Like Cardfight Vanguard and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think they do like Detective Conan stuff as well. So
Yeah.
they've got money.
Yeah.
And Dr. Stone is the synopsis is one fateful day, all of humanity was petrified by a blinding flash of light. After several millennia, high schooler Taiju awakens to find himself lost in a world of statues. However, he's not alone. His science-loving friend Senku's been up and running for a few months, and he's got a grand plan in mind to kickstart civilization with the power of science. So there's only one episode of this out so far, and not a whole lot happens in the first episode. It's pretty much just being like,
Yeah. A lot of series only like one episode is out right now.
Yeah,
So whatever you can tell us.
It's pretty much just it starts off with the main character Taiju. He's like, I want to confess to the girl I like, right? And he goes to do it, and then this blinding flash comes out, and everybody gets turned into stone. And he tries to protect the girl he likes, but everybody gets turned to stone.
Right. Exactly.
And so it goes through this, like 3,000 year time skip where apparently everyone who's turned to stone, or at least some people who have been turned to stone, are conscious throughout the entire thing. And like the entire 3,000 years, he's basically just like, someday I'll wake up and like confess to her.
Mhm.
And then eventually, the stone around him starts to crumble and he can move around. And he finds that the only other person around that's been able to break out of the stone is his friend Senku, who's this 2 bajillion IQ scientist who apparently can make love potions out of gasoline or something.
Regular MacGyver.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out, if there's any sort of chemical composition that can like break people out of the stone,
Mhm.
and what exactly is the reason that only they have broken out of the stone and stuff like that. And by the end of the episode, they figure out that I forget what exactly, but
It was nitric
uh,
acid.
nitol or whatever.
Yeah.
Mixed some nitric acid with alcohol or something, and they poured it on some birds, and it broke it out. And they're like, "Yeah, now it's time to restart the world, right?" But yeah, it's mostly just a setup episode for the main premise. Um, Other than that, I mean, it's TMS Entertainment. It looks nice. I'm not 100% sure if this is like an action-y series. I know pretty sure there's fights in the show, or in the series rather.
How
Um,
long is this? Is this 12 episodes?
I don't know.
Because
Not
this
off the top of
doesn't.
my known.
Because the way this is being described, it doesn't smell like it would be a 12 episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think.
Wikipedia says 24.
Okay, so 24 sounds a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine it's 24. I don't know how long manga's been going for.
Probably a
Let
pretty
me
long
check.
time. It's probably still like
It's
apromotional in a sense,
24.
but it still has 24 episodes. 'Cause
There are
Oh,
12
that's how they pulled
chapters,
it on the
11 volumes. So
Yeah,
on
11
the
volumes.
BD websites for that for Doctor Stone and Fire Force. Apparently, a while ago, it was listed as 24 episodes
yeah,
because they have a
Um,
BD for episodes 21 to 24.
nice. But yeah, the show looks quite nice. Um, One minor gripe I kind of have is Taiju screams, um,
Is
a
it like
lot,
Black Clover?
and not quite. I mean, it's supposed to be comedic, right? Like,
Right.
the Senku will be like describing some, like the chemical composition of whatever he's trying to make, and then Taiju will be like, "I don't know what you're talking about at all," and he'll like scream it, right? And the first couple times it's like, haha, yeah, he's dumb, right?
Mhm.
But then he keeps doing it, and it's kind of like, all right, stop. I don't know if it's gonna keep doing that or not.
Is this supposed to be like a comedic kind of thing, or like it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a sitcom kind of?
I
Right.
assume like he's supposed to be like, I'm an idiot and I'm yelling, right?
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay, okay, okay.
but
So it's like an idiot's comedy kind of thing, which is kind of weird,
yeah,
but yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do it less when there's like more than two characters, but for the fact that the first episode was entirely just interactions between the two characters, there was a little bit more screaming than I would have liked. Um, but yeah, other than that, the episode was pretty good.
How do you think?
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to pan out in the? I guess it'll cover a couple of like major arcs and then kind of close it out, right? Is what I'm
So
guessing.
so let so let me
In terms
ask,
of like adaptations or what?
In terms of the anime adaptation.
Yeah.
who
I mean,
is
I
the
haven't.
Doctor Stone?
Dr. Stone is Senku, the two
Yeah, it's
billion
the
IQ
guy.
scientist.
What's he
Um,
holding in this picture? Is it the cure?
Probably.
Did you know? Wait, have they determined what the cause of the stoning is? Is it aliens or is it mythical beasts?
Well, if
It's
they
the
already found
first
out,
episode.
Yeah,
so
if
no.
they already
He
found
sure
out.
did.
Because you know how to solve a mythical beast one, right? You either kill
Close your eyes.
the beast. That's one way. If it's like magic based, or if it's biological based. Let's say it's like a
You die.
It's like a gorgon or a stone-eyed cyclops, right? You use the eyeball tears from either one of those, and make an antidote from it.
Yeah, you know, there was just a giant fucking gorgon in space that just shot its beams
Shot
at
everybody.
the Earth.
You know
The
in most
hierarchy.
games, the cure for petrification is eye drops, right?
Eye drops.
Yeah.
His eyeballs.
What is eyeballs but eye drop factories?
Shut up.
That's shower thoughts right there.
Damn, dude.
Keep going.
I don't
I'm-
even
I'm
know
just
where
saying-
I was.
I'm just saying I already solved the crisis here.
You didn't, but okay.
Yeah, just cry on people, you know. All good.
Yeah. So the manga's been going for 11 volumes, right? So obviously this isn't really. I think pretty sure it's ongoing still. So I don't think this is gonna catch up. I also don't think this is going to be like. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be a series that's like keeps going, like it's multiple seasons, but I kind of doubt it. It's probably gonna be a promotional, right?
Mhm.
I think it's going to be a full one though. This definitely feels like it's going to be season 1 through whatever.
What? Really? You think this is gonna
Yeah.
get multiple seasons?
I believe this. This is popular enough to be on what, Funimation, right? That's definitely going to mean it's going
What?
to be on.
Wait,
multiple
hold on.
seasons.
A lot of things are on Funimation.
Hold on there.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's not how popularity works.
A lot of things don't have season 2s.
Okay, near. Let me ask this: does anyone have a? Is there a Phoenix that has appeared yet, or anyone
What?
with a Phoenix-based name?
I don't think so. No.
Because you know in Harry Potter, the basilisk turns people to stone, right? And they use Phoenix tears to cure it.
They already found the cure.
Yeah.
Then what? Then why haven't they distributed? Wait, a cure in episode 1?
Yeah.
Yes, the cure is the setup is literally the cure is not very important. The entire idea of the show is restarting civilization.
So it's like Lord of the Flies, but with stones.
No, well, Lord of the Flies is not really.
Because there's only children in this one, right?
Well, they weren't trying to jumpstart civilization in Lord of the Flies. They were
Yeah,
just kinda-
they're trying to keep each other from like killing each other pretty much more than anything else. It's like, or like rather beat each other to death.
Yeah, so
Almost.
I guess
It's,
that'll be my question to you. Do you know that's like, is that pretty much where it's going to be now? Like what it's going to be? Like what the series is actually about? Is like the actual jump starting of civilization through freeing these people?
Well, like
or
I
is
was-
it just him doing the journey, like episodic journey kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't know, because like I was trying to say, I haven't read the manga yet.
Mhm.
I was going to delve into it, but I just didn't really get around to it.
Right, that's fine.
You know, I assume it's largely about restarting civilization. Sorry, I'm having a stroke or something.
That's fine. Sorry.
But I mean, it's labeled action on back updates, so I assume there's like fights and stuff. But I don't know. None of the promo material have like really show fights. So I'm not 100% sure what like the conflict is really, because if it's just about them releasing people from the stone and then restarting the civilization, I'm not too sure where the conflict comes from. So
Well, if it's just action, maybe it just means like scenes of them like hunting and shit or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
Who's the antagonist? Isn't the antagonist Tarzan guy?
I assume so.
So isn't this show all about nature versus nurture, or science versus Tokyo? What is it? What's that one game where it's post-apocalyptic and you run around as like a Pomeranian, Tokyo survival or thing?
Tokyo Jungle?
Yeah. Is it like Tokyo
It's-
Jungle?
No.
then- what?
I mean, Senku says like he wants to beat fantasy with science.
Yeah, there you
so,
go. So
I mean, I don't know, right? Like it's one episode, right? So again, I'm not entirely sure what the conflict is. They allude to the weird Tarzan guy in the first episode, like they show him in the stone, and he's all menacing. Apparently, he was practicing looking angry before he got turned into stone. So,
do you
but
do,
yeah,
do you think
So,
do you think the Pillar Men could defeat them?
I'm not entirely sure why that
Well,
is.
considering a heavy fucking wind could defeat anyone who is turned to stone,
Because you
yes.
know, the Pillar Men use the stone masks to turn people into stone, and then they
Stone Mask is pretty powerful, so Stone Human.
and then they absorb they absorb the stone humans as their energy source or whatever. And that's how that works, right?
no, I don't remember the stone mask turning anybody into stone. What?
I mean vampires.
That's a little bit different, though.
Tomato, tomato, dude.
Yeah, man.
Tomato, potato, same thing.
But,
But Yoda, I guess, any last words on Dr. Stone?
yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to read a good chunk of the manga. I'll probably cover this series again when it has more episodes out.
Yeah.
Just because.
Session says that Dr. Stone is quite popular and consistently popular.
Told you, it's definitely gonna get more seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very popular series, but you have to realize, Toast, a lot of really popular series get animes and then they don't get a season 2.
That is also true. A lot again. The anime itself is a lot of it's based on like the money again comes from the broadcasting rights, right, to the various stations, and then B, well, I mean that's more or less how that pretty much works out. And B, potential for the anime to sell related stuff, right? Merchandise isn't as big of a factor, but the idea is to be able to jumpstart the franchise in a multimedia push, right?
So they sell what, pet rocks?
Also,
that would be funny.
Well, I mean, mostly they sell Shonen Jump subscriptions.
Right, exactly. So it'll be dependent on whether that works out to whether it works as a growth medium to be using corporate speak, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
eh,
I wouldn't rule it out that it gets a season 2, right? Like it's
yeah, for
entirely
sure.
possible because I mean, it's an ongoing manga. It's an extremely popular manga. This series or this anime is probably going to be one of the most popular things this season.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's entirely possible, but in this day and age, right? A lot of anime is just made to sell the manga, so I wouldn't like expect it. Is the
Right,
thing.
exactly.
But yeah,
is this also a studio that you would expect to like keep up with it like that?
TMS. I mean, TMS does a lot of stuff, right? I don't know. I don't think TMS has ever really done like long running stuff outside of Detective Conan, right? So
And that's a really long one.
yeah, I mean Detective Conan's like never gonna end. But I don't know. It's not like this studio or like this series being done by TMS, like it doesn't really go any way, right? Like
Okay.
it could it could be one season, it could be fucking 5. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's definitely no guarantee because the anime the anime's popularity and itself, or like the general popularity itself, doesn't necessarily translate into. Well, the idea is that they want to use the anime as a growth platform, as to jumpstart other stuff. So if it doesn't jumpstart other stuff, there is not too much meaning in it from the production staff point of view. As frustrating as it may be for the fans to not get additional seasons, right?
Yeah.
Similar thing with probably how Index.
Attack on Titan.
Listen,
Well-
Index got another season.
Was it good?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
just look back at Promised Neverland, right?
So near. How long were they trapped in stone?
Promise Neverland's getting a season. Up to 5, okay?
Yeah.
Near. How long
All
were they
the
trapped in
seasons,
stone?
Okay.
Like 3,000 years, 2,000, 5,000
I-
years.
I think they said 3,700 years.
So so what's 3,700
That's
divided
at
by
least like 4 Index seasons, right? It's like,
what's
that's like-
3,700 divided by 2019? That's when season 2 will come out.
What?
Okay.
What?
Well, anyways, do you have any last words for the series? Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm probably gonna cover it again on the podcast.
Okay.
When there's more episodes out. It's definitely a series that I'm pretty sure most people are going to be watching. I think
Mhm.
a lot of people are going to be talking about this
Oh,
series.
for sure.
It's extremely popular. I'm not sure if this is going to be more popular than Vinland Saga or not.
Ooh, or
Um,
Promise Neverland.
It might be popular with the
Vinland's
younger.
two
It
seasons.
might be more popular with the younger audience, but again, Vinland Saga is such a following. So
Yeah, it's a big series. There's a lot of heavy hitters this season. So, but yeah, this is definitely.
You could say this has a stone full impact, or
That's
it's
that was
no,
really bad.
it's
That was
it
bad.
this show is rock solid. There you go. That's the one. That's the one.
that's a little. That's okay. That's
It's a
actually
little better.
yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway.
This season this show becoming anime of the season is set in stone.
Nice.
Dr. Stone is making you hard, so they say. But
But yeah.
moving on. I guess I'll go next year. But again, and thank you, Nier, for covering a pretty big series. I know it's difficult to ask you to cover something. Pretty involved, but
It's
it's only episode
pretty
one.
hard. Near.
God damn it. We're just gonna use hard as all the jokes. But again, I do apologize for me cover something as big as this. Only episode 1 is up, but that's the nature of these episodes. And what I'm going to be covering is called Katsute Kamidatta Kemono-tachi, To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. This is a series by Mappa. It is a
What's
light novel.
Mappa?
Mappa is.
Oh, these guys. Okay. Mappa's the one who did Dororo. I remember because every episode of Dororo they have the dude on the bike.
They did a lot of interesting
What?
series.
Does it also have the dude on the bike?
No, does not. I don't believe. I don't think it opens
but-
with that.
but-
I don't think that was Mappa. Was it that caused
What?
that? Wasn't that some other company that was involved?
They
in Dororo?
worked with Tezuka Productions. They
Then who?
worked.
Then
It
so
was Mappa and Tezuka Productions.
Yeah, I don't think Mappa's opening is the fucking dudes on the motorcycle.
what?
Yeah,
Is that Tezuka then?
I think so.
they
What-
were working together.
What does Tezuka have to do with bicycles? Did they do Akira or something?
Oh,
What
what does
does Mappa
Mappa
have
have
to
to
do
do
with
with
bicycles?
fucking Yakuza
I
looking
don't
dudes
know.
on bikes?
Mappa owns bicycles, by the way.
I thought that was Mappa's trademark, the bike dude.
No,
Guess I was wrong.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think that was in
No,
even.
don't
Are you
think-
talking about like the
Garou.
CG dude on the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever I watch on Amazon Prime, I always get the bike dude, and I'm like, hey, this is Mappa.
I think that's a Mappa thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Why?
wow.
I don't think that was in Garou though. So
Did you
that's
watch
what
it?
I was
Yeah.
confused.
Did you watch
I
it on
think Mappa-
Amazon Prime?
Mappa
No.
does it randomly. It's like the
Is it on Yuri on Ice? Is it in Yuri on Ice?
yeah. It's like that Madhouse logo that they do on like 10% of their shows now.
Yeah.
It's like that. Mappa just throws that in sometimes.
Okay. Well, anyways, again, it is a map series, one of the few series that they do every year. They are not, they're not exactly prolific with their series, although when they do pick stuff, they pick pretty interesting series. The original, actually, I was pretty interested in this because the original art, or the author behind this and the artist behind this for the light novel is actually an artist called Maybe,
Maybe
and
what?
the just maybe, but
Make me an artist. No.
yeah, maybe an artist, but he is like a doujin slash manga artist who did stuff like
Dojin, you say? What dojins? Are they spicy?
apparently a lot of them are like Persona stuff,
Oh,
but
that's lame.
so he did stuff like Watamote. He did
What?
Tasogare Otome Amnesia, which is one of my which is a pretty, not like a favorite, but it is a series I value highly. Kekkon Yubiwa Monogatari and some other stuff. He has a pretty interesting art style that I really like. So I decided to check this out. Again, it is one of the more sort of involved series, and only one episode is out so far. It is what it is. Quick synopsis here. During a protracted civil war that pitted the North against the South, the outnumbered Northerners used dark magical arts to create monstrous super soldiers called incarnates. So these are people that can sort of turn into beasts at will, and they can be not beasts, like just monsters. So more generally, and they're called incarnates. And now that the war has ended, these sacred beasts must learn how to make their way in a peaceful society or face death at the hands of a beast hunter. Nancy Shaw Bancroft, daughter of an incarnate soldier who met an untimely end at the hands of one such beast hunter, turns to hunting the hunter herself. But once she catches up with her quarry, she discovers hard truths about the lives of the incarnates. So this is a two-person thing. Excuse me. A two-person thing about sort of one a human girl, right? So this is who is again the daughter of an incarnate soldier, who is one of those like transforming beast soldiers, uh, who hates the beasts and sort of wants to, or sorry, hates the beast hunters and goes around, and then she ends up working with one of the old incarnates um, who is sort of out there seeking revenge and stuff like that. And they travel along and they find out more truths about the world. They find out more truths about the incarnates, uh, the war, so on and so forth. So that's sort of how it unfolds, and definitely a lot of sort of twists and turns, right? The usual like, oh, I betrayed you because I had a secret plot, blah, blah, blah. I wanted power, blah, these monsters should be free. The usual like, I want to say pretty standard like morality hierarchy kind of stuff, hierarchy based morality kind of stuff, right? It's like, oh, we have a monster, or we're treated as monsters, but we have all the power. So why should we fear the humans? And why don't we just kill them? The usual stuff, right? We don't need to really go through this, right? Not super deep or that unique, right? But they do go through it. I have not read the light novels myself. I'm not entirely sure what it contains, but the author is again maybe. So I really kind of like how he explored certain themes a little bit more in a unique manner in series like Tasukare Otome Amnesia, and even sort of he had a sort of unique tack on how a harem would unfold, for instance, in Kekkon Yubiwa Monogatari. So I'm interested to see what his facet is on this relatively standard moral issue of like, um, incarnates are incarnates, right? They're these experiments, these transforming monsters that could damage humans, and they don't want to. But then, why should they fear humans so much? Should they be persecuted again? Should they be persecuted like this? The usual stuff, right? Um, the sort of class discrimination tropes that pop up a lot in anime.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
So
the the brave writer to say, maybe discrimination not so
Is
bad
it
after all.
Yeah, maybe the KKK was right.
Yeah.
It's like so I'm kind of interested to see how they spend that. Um, again, a lot of the motivation is based upon the sort of feelings of revenge by the girl who again is hunting the beast hunters who are hunting the incarnate or the beast soldiers, and then the old incarnate soldier himself who is trying to find revenge, and this is shown in episode 1, who is trying to seek revenge against somebody who betrayed him and drove a lot of his beast soldier friends insane and sort of created the mess that everybody is in, where beast hunters are trying to hunt down these beast soldiers. So um, I do want to see how it expands, but I'm not sure whether I have how do I say this? I have optimism because of the author, but I'm not entirely confident in how unique the moral themes of the story can pan out. It seems to be better than Fairy Gone, but that's not too much of a high bar, if that makes sense.
Very
So-
gone. So what?
Yes, Fairy Gone.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's reaction.
So, how strong are these sacred beasts? Because the sacred beasts that I know of are the Sangenshin, also known as the 3 Egyptian god cards.
I don't think they're as powerful as like almost the Tormentors or anything like that, but they're most
Are they stronger than the fairy gone people? Or like
the Fairy
They're
Gone like stands, you mean?
basically they're basically like just monsters, right?
Yeah,
Like they're
it's
not
like large
more.
monsters.
Yeah, like the dude, like there's a dude who has like turns into like a 3-headed snake guy.
Yeah, or like
And
a
like
large
he can
centaur or a
create a
dragon.
poison. He can create a poison mist and inject people with poison that kills them instantly.
So
But
he's a
then
high-
he gets
so-
like killed by a bunch of cannon fire. So it's
Yeah.
like they're not like invincible by any
So
means.
you can kill a Hydra with cannon fire? Wow, that sucks. You're supposed to
Yeah.
have like supposed to have like an anti-Hydra weapon, like the vampire killer or something.
Yeah, you don't
Well,
quite need that. It appears.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is now not really so much like how much power they have in doing like stand stuff. It's a little bit more just like
If they're
them dealing with a
Well,
fact that,
it's more like werewolf shit and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
that sort of
werewolf persecution.
so like Wolf's
Yeah.
Rain.
kind of stuff.
I mean, it's just like that in the sense that that's kind of the dynamic you'd be dealing with, right? Like if you just think about it as like lycanthropy, but through a different lens of like different types of beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're
who's
not
the cutest?
invincible, but they're certainly stronger than a human.
They can take care of multiple soldiers.
So who's the cutest?
The cutest?
The siren.
I would say the dragon, but that's just me having bias for the main character.
Spire. We all know that the dragon is the second most powerful in anime lore. First one is God or demon.
You what?
What?
Yeah, that's gonna be the sacred beast transformation. God.
Gods.
Gods or demons are usually like the top tier hierarchy of power, and then after that is dragon, because dragons are still in the mortal realm, aren't they? Gods,
Yeah, I remember-
gods and devils.
I
They
don't-
live
I
in
remember the
higher
classic-
planes.
Classic Animorphs cover. Where
I'm not
are usually
they
immortal.
become
Animorphs.
God.
Animorph into God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Animorph into T-posing Jesus. It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? But anyways, overall, I want to keep watching this. I want to. I don't know whether I'm necessarily being hypocritical by saying I'll keep watching this when I pretty much rejected Fairy Gone offhand. But again, I have a little bit more optimism in this author. I'm not. It's not gonna be like some Golden Kamuy shit where it's like actually good and like the pairing works really well and like everything's going splendid. But
Speaking of Golden Kamuy, how good's the CG?
I don't think there was
Oh,
any really.
there wasn't. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I
any
don't think
either.
there was any CG in episode 1 for
Yeah, which is actually
not
pretty
for the
good.
beasts at the
Shit.
very
Oh
Yeah,
no, oh
least.
no.
Like there might have been CG for like the cannons and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
and like the blast effects from like the dragons and stuff like that. But beyond
Yeah.
that, oh yeah, which was actually pretty interesting. But I want to keep watching it, and if you do want to kind of, yeah, for anybody out there that wants to take, I guess, another stab at the whole like, oh, shoot people with these powers that were used once as soldiers, be discriminated against, the usual romp, right? Again, covered in stuff like Fairy Gone, the werewolf, a lot of like the werewolf like anime that came out in the past couple of seasons. I guess you can definitely check this one out. I think it has an okay chance to end up smoothly. Definitely don't guarantee it though. So
It's not a it doesn't what do you call it? It's not, what's the word, where it makes you think, where it's an allegory on current day-to-day affairs or whatever. What's
it's
the
not
word?
an allegory on, well,
It's not the dark side of current human civilization or anything like that.
I mean,
No earthquakes in not California or bathwater.
bathwater. Not a commentary on bathwater, but
yeah.
so the difference I'm making is that like a lot of these series are talking about gray morality, stuff like class discrimination issues, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that they're not talking about necessarily more complex issues, but what I would like for people to shy away from is talking about them in these very sort of repetitive ways with the similar problems and similar sort of solutions, which aren't even really necessarily solutions that are applicable in thinking about it anywhere outside the anime. So these sorts of like sort of very linear thinking, very simplified thinking, like, oh, again, like, oh, we were discriminated against. What do you expect us to do? So should we fear the humans, or should we just all fucking destroy them? Like these very, again, very, very not complex problems at hand. I would like people to shy away and try maybe a different tack, maybe a different way to nuance the problem that is more realistic, more applicable to life, and again, solutions that are again similar to how people deal with these sorts of discrimination, with these hierarchies in real life, is what I want to say. So it's not that they don't tackle it; it's that they tackle it in a very simplistic way, and I want to avoid that. So, anyways, that was again what I had to say. Last words again, just if you want to take another stab at something like Fairy Gone or something like discrimination stuff, you can give this a try. It's made by Mappa. It's headed. The writing's headed by Maybe, who is
Maybe.
I would say is a pretty decent writer in terms of taking a unique facet on these tropes. So we'll see what happens. They turn into giant fucking. There's no hierarchy.
So it's. Are you saying it's better than Zodiac War, or what else do they turn into
There's
monsters?
a lot that's better than Zodiac War.
They didn't turn into giant monsters and whatever.
Well, what I'm saying is that they don't have to necessarily emulate the entire sort of like power differential necessarily, which would be a more like hierarchical difference. But what would be interesting to see is a more unique, realistic take on how this sort of like minority persecution and sort of having to deal with these like repercussions of a few people seeing, for instance, a few bad apples in the bunch and just assuming everything's rotten, right? And sort of the repercussions of that, how to deal with that, and dealing with it in a more nuanced, perhaps a little bit more lengthier way is maybe what I would like to see. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm like, oh well, how do we deal with giant monsters in real life? That's not exactly what I'm saying. But yeah, that's all I had to say about Katsute
Kimono Friends.
Kemono Friends, yes. Kemono Friends Season 4, also known as Katsute Datta Kemono-tachi, or To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts, is the English localization title. last but definitely not least, on to Toast. What do you have for us?
Who posted that picture of Rabbit Jesus?
Would you like to tell us what your series is?
Dang, what was it called?
What do you mean? It's one of the most talked about series this season. What do you mean? What is it called?
Let me give me like 2 seconds to Google it.
God, dude.
You
It's
okay,
just
bro?
Dumbbell Nan kilo Moteru. Or
So
how heavy are
so Spire, you. No, I don't think you.
Workout?
I don't think you did that.
they?
So you know that you guys know what's his name? You guys know
Yeah.
Ricardo, right?
Is this the path we're taking? Really?
Yeah, when you think of muscle, you think of Ricardo.
Is this how? Is this how we're gonna start this section?
So
No,
out?
yeah,
just ignore the Gold's Gym references or anything like that.
Oh
And,
my God.
you know, who was sponsored by Gold's Gym other than Ricardo, you know?
So
Are we-
I have a membership at Gold's Gym. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, anyway,
Can we talk about the
so
series?
you guys know who Ricardo and Aniki are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool dudes.
Okay.
I bet they work out a lot.
Okay.
All right, so
So
Toast,
you-
what series did you cover?
I covered Spire. What's the name? I'll let you.
Dumbbell-
Yeah,
Is
go
it
ahead.
Dumbbell Nan kilo Moteru, also known as how heavy are the dumbbells that you lift?
In what's the term? What is the term Chad? Yeah, sure. In modern day Chad terms, it'll be how much you lift, bro, right? Or no, gym rats? Doc, is it gym rats?
I guess.
I mean, I don't know gym rats that say like how much you lift or something like
Or
that.
isn't like do you even lift? Is the
Yeah,
is,
do you even lift, bro? Yeah. Or that one you know that one Taco Bell commercial, the protein one that I like?
Oh my
Like, hey, I got you guys some protein, and the other dude's like, awesome, I love protein. And the dude's like,
Okay.
I love protein too. Like, protein rocks. You know that one about the
yes,
Taco
I
Bell
see the advertisement.
protein?
Toast.
And man, I love that
Would you-
commercial.
Would you like to
So
talk about the series?
yeah, so let's talk about the series, right?
Thank God.
Okay.
So you got the one chick, right? What's her name?
It's
Hibiki
Sakura
Sakura.
Hibiki.
Yeah.
Garu.
So she's kind of fat, right?
Yes, she knows that she's becoming fat.
And then she's like, she weighed herself and she's like, oh no, I weigh 55.4 kilograms. That's 120 pounds American? 122 pounds American.
Okay.
And then I'm like, is that really that much? But then we compared it to Nier, and Nier's 49 kilograms. And I'm like, what?
I mean, it depends on our height, obviously, but
Spire, how much do you weigh?
me? Right now I weigh 74 kilos. So I don't know.
Is that when you're wet or when you're short?
Uh, it's when I'm in my regular height stage.
So
in my regular height.
in comparison, I am. Where is it? How much do you weigh, Spire?
I weigh 164 pounds.
What?
164 pounds or 74 kilos.
I weigh 68 kilos. Dark, how about you?
I haven't weighed myself recently, but
Let's
probably
just say-
180 pounds.
let's just
'cause I'm
say
a real human.
Let's
Who
say
uses pounds, not kilos.
let's say 80. Let's say 80 kilos, right?
Okay.
So then her ponytail chick friend, she's like, "Hey Hibiki, you got fat," and then she's like, "Oh no," and then she's like, "Darn, I am fat," and then she sees this advertisement for Silverman's Gym, which apparently is a allegory to Gold's Gym. I didn't know that, but apparently
Yeah,
it
why
is.
It's not an
wouldn't it be?
allegory. Can you
That is
stop?
also not an allegory, by the way.
Stop me.
it's
I
it's just a reference to Gold's Gym, yeah.
It's not an allegory.
That's why they go into it and they say that they have, like 3 million members internationally and that they house like, bodybuilders and trainers and competitors and whatnot.
That's cool.
It's also why it's called Silver Man's Gym.
I thought it was just because the dude was silver.
No, not quite. Just so you know, Gold's Gym also has a guy in its logo.
Anyway, where was I? So she joins Silverman's Gym and she's all like, "Whoa, this looks neat. It looks like some sort of fancy high-tech gym." And I'm like, "That's cool." And then she sees someone else from her school. What's her name?
Soyurin Akami.
Yeah, so you and Akemi, I think, is the Ojo-sama's name.
Did you know? Did you know? She's related to that one family from Kengan Asura, I think. No, that's the other one, right? Whatever. Spoiler: this show is in the same universe as Kengan Asura. Anyway,
Cool.
she meets this
finish
one
the summary
chick and
of
she's
the
like,
story?
"Wow, this chick is a Yamato Nadeshiko. I want to be
Yes.
just like her." And then the trainer chick's like, "Here we go. Here's your free membership trial." Then they open the door and it's like, oh, look at all these Anikis there.
Yeah, there are like a whole bunch of people working out, like full like muscle macho like gachi kind of stuff instead of sort of the casual
Is it
gym.
is
that
it
she
is
thought
it
of.
gachi or is it bara? We need to differentiate here.
Bara is the general sort of like hentai genre, right? Gachi is like the general idea of them being like whole muscular. and stuff.
Bara is the
There's-
one where they draw the dude's pecs as like boobs, right?
No, Bara is
That's
just
the one
whole-
where they're like
that-
where the pecs are super circular. It's like they look like breasts.
No. Bara is like the actual like hentai genre kind of thing, right? Where it's like the two dudes like are usually like muscular and then they're like having sex, and then
I wouldn't know.
Gotcha is the fucking just.
I
being
only
muscular.
I only pay attention to Aniki. He's a cool dude.
Okay.
But yeah, then all these gachi dudes. Then I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And she's like, oh no, I entered a muscle march gym. And then
Yeah.
Akemi's all like, that's cool. But I
Yeah,
like
she,
this.
She has a muscle fetish, yeah.
If
And then they get kind of introduced and going through it, and then a lot of the rest of the series is kind of episodic on like.
If let's just
teaching.
say if Kuko's voice actor was still alive, I'd think she'd voice Akemi in this.
Okay.
It's kind of that
But,
feel. You know what I mean, like Matsuki Miyu.
I
She'd
kinda
definitely
get
be a
it,
good
yeah.
Akemi for this.
Yeah, no, I get it. I can see
And
that.
then so yeah, it's a story about Hibiki and her high school girlfriends plus other people
Mhm.
working
Going to
out.
the gym, yeah, working out, learning
And then
about the gym,
it
exercises.
gives real life training tips, I guess.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's been on the rise in terms of popularity as a manga original for quite a while now. Again, it's episodic about gym trivia, girls working out, stuff like that.
I bet. There are some erotic things when they're working out, but it's just like
Well, I mean that's part of what it draws the people, right? It's like,
I think you're wrong, Spire. It's there just to I believe it's there just to be
just there.
Is the word is it affirmative action? No.
What?
What?
To be
Hold up.
to be
Wait.
what's the word?
What the fuck are you talking about? I like zoned out for a second and I heard affirmative action come up.
What's the one where it's like male and female ratios are equal?
Gender equality?
Gender
I mean,
equality.
that's kind of affirmative action. at
Gender,
that point, right?
this is what you This is called a
I don't know if one good.
This is gender equality in the workplace, cause you got those pervy things when when the girls are working out. I'm like, that's cool, I guess. But show me machio.
But well, I guess.
But
you
I
could
like
do
Aspire.
gender
Don't lie to me. Don't say that people tune in for the pervy girls when everyone wants to see the buff dudes. That's a
Machio
lie,
is
and
pretty
you
funny.
know it.
Machio is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Well, they haven't covered a lot of his more comedic stuff in the anime yet. But like as the manga progresses, he does some pretty funny stuff.
Aspire,
Definitely.
don't tell me you didn't be like, oh, that's the stuff I like when the dude was doing the bicep curl and his bicep nearly exploded, or when they're doing
I
like
don't-
the lat pulls. Oh, good stuff.
the arm wrestling thing was my favorite, to be honest.
See, you know, you're in the
Yeah.
know.
But anyways, how I guess you enjoyed the series trivia and stuff like that, right? The general, the balance is actually pretty good. It's done by Doga Koba, I believe, and the people behind a series like Yuri Yuri. And I believe it is. This is especially the anime itself. Especially interests me because the main character is actually done by a voice actor named Fairuz Ai or Ai Fairuz.
Who?
So she is pretty much a new voice actress. Not like new, but more or less this is her first main role, and I don't think has pretty much had any other roles. So she's probably like a trainee just coming out, doing her first main role.
Is she? She
I think
doesn't look
she's a half.
Japanese yet.
No, she's definitely not Japanese. She's I think she's a half. I don't think she's like
Wait, who?
full.
Who?
The main voice actress or the voice actress behind
Oh.
Hibiki.
Uh,
So apparently she is in like a voice actor slash actress agency, but and then she got chosen because she used to work at a gym, and so she like knew stuff about the gym.
Ah,
And
so
she's done
she's like the Uchi maid.
yeah. It's kind of like how they
Who would win in a
like,
fight?
Sneaker Maid. Well, I think that's a little bit different. No, she is definitely good. I'm pretty sure she's native to like she was born in Japan.
She's
even if
native
she
to
was,
the
like-
gym. She was born in a gym. What?
Yeah, she was conceived at the gym, but I think she was like regardless of like what her ethnicity is, I think she was actually born in Japan because her like Japanese, her nuance, the pronunciation, everything is pretty much spot on. So I think she more or less was born here.
So
or
she,
born,
so she's the opposite of Amamiya Sora? No, not Amamiya Sora.
not Toyama now.
Sally Amaki. There you go.
Sally Amaki. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I mean, her family probably speaks like it in her household, but then she lives in Japan more or less, so she obviously also speaks Japan extremely fluently. So it's very interesting to see that again. The last time we saw something similar to that, what
So,
in a much more prominent manner was Sakura Quest, right? I think Dark knows this, right? With the with the Sandals guy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely very interesting to see this coming out, and this is just main character straight out in a relatively popular series. So I'm definitely looking forward to this panning out a lot.
all I know is get those girls out of here. I want more dudes pumping muscle.
More matcha dudes, dude.
I
yeah.
want more dudes complaining about their about their protein.
Yeah. I kind of wish that they gave out a little bit.
But I mean, like
more-
that's what Kengan Asura is for, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
I
this, this is the same. This is the same artist, I believe. We talked about this.
Yeah,
already?
it is the same
And
artist.
it's like
yeah.
that's you can see how he does cute girls in this, and then real cool dudes in Kengan Asura. What?
But yeah, I think this is just like very small gripes from me for the most part, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the manga a lot as well. I just wish that they'd give a little bit more detail on the sort of like exercise trivia as well as the diet, because like the main motivation of the thing of like Hibiki and the others is like to lose weight and stuff like that, right? A lot of that is like, I mean,
mean-
there's like working out, but it's like 70% of that is usually
I
dieting.
mean,
So
if,
dieting
if
definitely.
there's
well.
there's already some other mangas about fat chicks doing it to lose weight. That's what's the one with the fat elf? That's
I don't know. You're the one that reads it.
Spy, what's the one with the fat elves and the potato chips or the fries? I mean,
I think I know what you're talking about, but I
the
don't.
the
I
famous
don't-
the famous artist Cynic Doach, however you pronounce it.
Synecta.
You,
Yeah,
you,
no,
you,
I know.
you know the one.
I don't know what.
What are we
I
what are we
don't know.
talking about?
Well, I don't know the name of the series you're talking about, but I know the artist. But anyways, uh, yeah. So I do wish they focus also a little bit more detail on the exercises, not necessarily because I'm super like.
I heard you have some problems with the way they talk about the exercises.
I I think I think like the lighter exercises, it's kind of like whatever, like isolation machines, stuff like that. Just I mean, like as long as you get the approximate performance, whatever. But for some of the more sort of, I want to say, whole body / more dangerous stuff like squats, deadlifts, I think it's really important, and also bench press to a lesser extent. I think it's quite important to make sure that you emphasize all of the things in the proper form, like elbows a little bit tucked in for the bench press, shoulder blades back, squats, just making sure that even if your butt is going down, it doesn't like completely just collapse and stuff like that. Emphasize on the lower back, stuff like that, because I know people go in, and a lot of people get kind of hammered on the fact that they need to do squats, they need to do deadlifts, they need to do bench press if they actually want to effectively get on. But they are quite more involved exercises that can be dangerous and can really hurt you if you fuck them up. I'm sure Dark will back me up on this because he's, but it is not. They're not things that like if you're just like a couple of things about them and then you fuck up the rest of the form, you're like you can definitely get hurt.
So what I'm hearing, Spire, is
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people who are like just starting out doing deadlifts, and they're like, "Yeah, I
My
don't think
lower
I'm
back is
doing it
dying.
right." No, it's not even like my lower back is like fucked, and then they're like, "Yeah, but also like, man, my legs are just I'm hitting my legs way too much with this." I'm like, "Well, you're going to.
Yeah,
Unless you want to die, you're gonna hit legs while you're doing your deadlift a little bit."
in a sense, like I think honestly, a better modern way of doing it is just starting out with, or even just generally doing, unless you're going like full like powerlifting. I think trap bar is a good like modern kind of thing that you can just do these days, especially since everybody's of different heights and like different
True.
knees and stuff like that. So you don't fucking hit your bar, hit the bar all the time, and you're not like, how do I angle my knee and my hips and everything. So I think that's better, but still, it is more like involved, and sometimes.
Yeah, my strat is do extensions instead for like
Yeah.
5
Classic.
sets a week and then give up because it's too hard.
But yeah, it's I just that's a very like a small gripe, but I do think that for people who take it a little bit more seriously, I think it is important to just keep that in mind so they don't hurt themselves. That's what I'm a little bit worried about.
so what I'm hearing, Spire, is that you're saying these exercises are dangerous, right?
Well, if you do them wrong, they're
so
certainly
you're
dangerous.
saying that you're weaker than a high school girl? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, Hibiki Sakura will put me in the alleyway and just beat me up.
I don't know, man. Have you seen? Well, I mean, I don't doubt that.
Yeah. Have you
Go
seen
man.
how much untapped potential she has? She eats
Yeah.
6 times a day.
Yeah. All the calories.
That was a really good trivia part. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
'Cause when she says, "Oh, well, I eat 6 times a day," to the like fitness freak girl with the muscle fetish, like
Yeah.
when she said that and it like seems like it's leading up to her being like mad, I was like, no, she's gonna be into that for sure.
Exactly. Because it's like multiple meals.
Shit, you're eating multiple meals. Oh my god.
Awesome. I love protein. Yeah, exactly.
Although it would be pretty interesting if, because it's like, again, as I said, they don't cover the diet stuff as much. It would have been
Not yet. It's more about I mean,
yeah.
you
I understand that. I understand that in a sense. 'Cause it's
Spire,
like about
what's
gym, right?
BCAA or whatever it's called?
Branch chain amino acids.
What's that?
Yeah,
What do you
they're
mean?
amino acids.
They're amino acids.
What's
That's
it?
exactly what he just said. The
What's
BCAAs.
the thing that Akemi was drinking after the workout?
I think she was drinking a protein shake.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
protein.
see-
I don't
Yeah,
think she was
exactly.
having BCAAs. She just says to drink BCAAs before you work out.
So it's before workout amino acid. That's what.
No, it's
I mean-
branch chain amino acids. That's what it stands
Is-
for.
So the
But
branch
I mean,
chain
you can
amino
pretty
acids-
much like have them
it-
whenever.
Yeah, essentially amino acids are part of the building blocks of the protein slash they help process how the protein does stuff in the body. So that's why if you take an excess of branched chain amino acids, especially the ones that your body doesn't make normally, it helps your body do stuff with the protein that you've consumed and obviously grow your muscle and stuff like that. That's what these BCAAs do. But again, just first world problems is what I'm saying. It's like when they were drinking like protein stuff, maybe some like cool explanation of like carbs versus fats and like when to take carbs specifically, stuff like that. Studies showing that maybe you can take a little bit of carbs in the evening, a little bit more stuff like right after workout. Stuff like intermittent fasting, but obviously these are again very very first world problems.
Yeah,
That-
where's
that's what this
my
is.
where's my trivia that tells you not to take too much pre-workout or you'll shit yourself while lifting? Where's
Where's my
where's that
entire chapter
trivia?
where's my entire chapter about ketosis, dude? But yeah.
Do you think high school girls know about ketosis and halitosis or whatever?
if they started going on if the vloggers start going on like a trivia spiel about that thing, or like if Akemi did it, I'd be like, what on earth is happening? Honestly, I'd be very surprised. I would be impressed, but I'd be very very like, whoa. But yeah, I mean, what did you think? I mean, what did you think overall, Toast? And would you recommend it to
I
others? 'Cause,
like it.
yeah, I mean, I enjoy it too.
It's. I mean,
sure.
like I was somewhat disappointed in the beginning of the episode where all the dudes were wearing tank tops and shorts instead of.
And not just like bursting out and like into their naked
Yeah,
body.
they were hiding their power level with their muscles there.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
don't know
like,
if they were exactly
like,
hiding it.
I'm like, who are these fakers that don't work out? And then they showed the naked dudes later. And I was like, yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I also definitely enjoy like all the.
You
all the
like the naked dudes? Nice.
Yeah, I love the naked dudes.
Me
I
too.
definitely-
Listen, the part where Machio rips through his entire tracksuit was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, he also like throughout the, for instance, in the manga, he keeps like trying to turn every conversation, like he takes like random words in the conversation and turns them into like phrases about building muscles and stuff like that. And he'll just like rip his clothes off, and all these puns that are pretty funny later on. It'll probably appear. I definitely enjoyed it too. I think it's a very good wholesome series for people to watch.
Did you know?
It's like-
Did you know, Spire,
Got a
that
fire opening.
Yeah.
if you look on YouTube, you can see that personal trainers recommend this anime, just like how
Oh yeah, I saw that.
just like how real life lawyers recommend Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright. But yeah, I definitely like the series. Again, the one caveat I would warn people about is that
You want more muscle information. That's what I'm hearing, right?
sort of. I want,
You're like Masato from Little Busters.
yeah, I want the Kiniku, but I just want to be careful when when people like look at the information and the trivia here. Just make sure with some of the exercises that you do your research beforehand, even after you see this stuff, so that you do not hurt yourself. This is very important.
Read the manga too.
Yeah, the manga is fun too, for sure. All right.
So,
Any last words?
Nair, you want in on these Kiniku?
I think Nier is more likely to be carried around by the Kiniku rather than grow them himself. But anyways, any last
So-
words on the series?
I have a last word.
Okay.
Machio's pep talk was pretty cool.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
But it's like,
he's
listen, as long as you're going to the gym, no one judges you
good.
because you're already here. Like, you're already working to it. You're working to get there, you know?
That's like one of those like Arnold interviews, like condensed.
Yeah.
I think everybody accepted me when
Yeah,
I
I
came
mean,
from
like-
Austria, kind of shit.
what kind of person makes fun of someone going to the gym? It's like they're trying to better
People
themselves.
who
you jerk.
don't.
Yeah,
That's who does. People who don't go.
that's I mean in general, what you find, and this is just like an aside, that people who are like a lot more like super fit and like actual like bodybuilders and stuff that are usually some of the nicest people that you'll meet for sure. So but yeah, overall
So-
again, I enjoyed the series as well.
Spire. On your rating scale of bicep curls to what's the hardest what's the exercise that lifts the most weight?
That's the most weight. You mean? Are you talking about the most
Leg
intense-
lifts? Is that the one where you lift like 3 tons with your legs?
leg press? Yes.
Leg press, yeah.
Yes.
How many kilos would you rate this show?
How many kilos? Fuck, I don't actually work with kilos at the gym myself because
How many pounds
yeah.
then? There you go.
definitely 745s on each side start, but a good start for a series. I definitely I definitely endorse this for sure.
So Dark, on your scale of protein shakes to
BCAAs.
yeah, sure. What would you rate this?
Now it's your turn to get fucked up. Dark.
I'll rate it 2 scoops of vanilla
Oh,
ice cream optimal nutrition whey protein.
Wait, is that shit actually
Out
good?
of
Is that
2.
flavor actually good?
It's like okay if you mix it with almond milk, with
Ah,
unsweetened almond milk
okay,
instead
okay.
of water,
Yeah, okay,
and like maybe like
well,
a dash
anything
of
is
cinnamon
better if
powder.
you do it with not water.
No, yeah. Well, I mean the chocolate's not bad with water because it just
Yeah.
tastes like yoo-hoo. So
Yeah, sure. Anyways, toast.
How about you, Near? What would you rate this show?
God damn it.
You want in on this, Near? You want to join the muscle march?
I don't think I think Nier's dead right now. He's
Alright.
been muscled out.
So on my scale of
Yes.
10 pound ankle weights to you know in that one episode of Samurai Jack where he jumps good and he like has the boulder on him. I don't know how many kilos that is.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
not quite.
Yes.
The one where he's out with all the monkeys and he's like, I jump good, and they jump good.
I think I've seen
And
it. But I don't
it's the one
remember,
where Aku held the time portal above Jack's head, and he was like, haha, you
okay.
can't jump this high, and then later he could.
Yeah. What about it?
I rate it as if this anime came to the gym with me, I would let it spot me.
That's good. That's good. All right. Again,
So
thank you.
it's good. Watch it.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
it's personal trainer approved.
Personal trainer approved for sure. And again, thank you, Toast, for helping you. Dumbbell Nan kilo Moteru, also known as how heavy are the dumbbells that you lift.
I'm gonna talk about it more later when my favorite character shows up. You can guess who.
All right. Well, sure. Give us a quick update on that later. And with that, we are done with our series and moving on quickly to the news. A lot of company news these past couple of weeks here. I'll just jump right in. First piece of news. The details of the 13th annual Manga Chiman contest, in which UK artists are encouraged to write their own original strips, have been announced by the Embassy of Japan. The closing date for entries is November 5th. According to the announcement, against the this year we want entrants to reference the theme of union in their entry. How the theme is interpreted is down to you, but it must be a visual, thematic, or written reference. And please state how your entry relates to the theme on your entry. I like how they did Union while like Brexit is still going on, but that's just me. The first prize for manga demand is 2 return tickets to Japan. The second prize is an A3 image scanner, and the third prize is a Ricoh digital camera. Runners-up will receive a selection of manga publications and other prizes. The winners or runner-ups work will be displayed in a special exhibition at the Embassy of Japan in 2020. So, yeah, so that's sort of like the UK Japan kind of thing going on. Pretty interesting. So there's also like a youth section for entrants aged between 11 and 13s, and they make like a yonkoma or 4 comic strip panels in 1 page. So yeah, if anybody's in the UK and pretty interested in doing that, please check it out. Next piece of news, some statistics on Japanese market. The Association of Japanese Animations, or AJA, published on June 8th a summary of its quote-unquote Anime Industry Report 2018 document that examines industry trends for 2017. The AJA published the Japanese version of the document last December, with the overall value of the anime market and the growth of the overseas market revealed at that time. The English summary revealed that the home video market for anime in Japan in 2017 was valued at 75.6 billion yen, a 2.9 decrease from the previous year. It is 4th consecutive year-on-year decrease. The streaming market was valued at 54 billion yen, a 13% growth from the previous year, reaching almost 70% of the home video market. So this is like the general idea is that just streaming services and basic like digitalization products is becoming better. With the Japanese government promoted quote-unquote reform of working practices, the report concluded that increasing digitalization of production methods must be implemented to maintain the current quality level, so on and so forth. But yeah, 2017 saw a 4.5 decrease from the previous year in the total number of television anime broadcasts. This is actually pretty interesting. So this is mainly because this is correlated with production costs for animation studios being on the rise, as well as what is it? Oh yeah. Additionally, the report noted that there were only 9,790 minutes of production spent on kids and family anime, compared to 14,388 minutes in 2016, 36,337 minutes in 2010. So there are less and less like general sort of kids and family anime being made, and much more sort of, I guess, niche anime, more merchandisable anime being sold in a sense, or like adult merchandisable anime being sold, I guess, is what it's implying. So it's pretty interesting here how it works. Again, the obvious stuff and stuff that we've known for quite a while is that digitalization streaming is on the rise, and sort of has to be on the rise if production studios are going to stay sustainable or afloat. So we'll see how that pans out. We have a couple of company-related news here. First, Bandai Namco Holdings and Shueisha, one of the major publishers in Japan, announced on Tuesday that they will jointly establish a new Shanghai-based company, tentatively named Shueisha Bandai Namco, or Shanghai Limited, in October. Bandai Namco Holdings will maintain a 51% controlling stake in the company, while Shueisha will hold a 49% minority stake. The company will focus on offering and planning merchandise and goods in China based on Shueisha manga. This is, I mean, it's relatively obvious why they're doing this, trying to kind of get a claw into the Chinese market and really kind of get things going on. Obviously, you know, they have all the data from like mobile games and stuff like that, right? All the profits they've made, all the profits like the Chinese games have made, right? So not too much of a surprise. Second piece of company news. Animation studio Gonzo revealed last Friday that it has executed a quote-unquote absorption type company split and has transferred a portion of its anime production, intellectual property, and rights management business to the newly formed Kai company. So this is later on. It talks about a lot of sort of losses, you know, up to $5 to $4 million losses for the company. Gonzo reported an insolvency of around $30 million for the year. So a lot of sort of unstable stuff going on. People trying to do a lot of sort of shuffling around and creating sister companies to kind of stabilize itself. So kind of ending up like what Production IG did, right? A while back with Zebek, kind of selling Zebek off to. Did they sell Zebek off to Sunrise or Gainax? Does anybody remember?
Yes.
I don't know.
Who did they? But they sold off Zebek down the river to somebody, right? It's kind of like that, I'm guessing.
I
It's
think
because it's very
so.
unstable, yeah. So another sort of very known studio kind of trying to make ends meet because they're having a lot of troubles being in the red with these production costs. So very unfortunate. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, they got sold to Sunrise.
Yeah, Sunrise. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people kind of struggling, and they're not like again small names either. It's Production IG, general like the IG port kind of umbrella company. It's Gonzo. These are pretty big names. So now last piece of company news: Kataka, Bushiroad, and Kinema Citrus. So Bushiroad is a general sort of um, media franchise like distributor, publisher kind of stuff. Kataka, same, and Kinema Citrus animation company. And they announced on Monday that they are entering into comprehensive business partnership with the aim of producing a stable intellectual property, producing anime content in response to the growing popularity of anime both domestically and abroad. So I'm not sure entirely what this means, to be honest. I think they're just generally finding out ways to pool assets to make sure that they set up like partnerships, and then they just kind of can start pumping up stuff. Like, what do you guys think?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think this stable intellectual property. I think it's just asset pooling, just so they don't get individually fucked, right? It's the same sort of story as what we've been talking about in the last couple of articles. The production stuff costs for individual studios and like publishing costs being too high, and a lot of people kind of going into the red, right?
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it's kind of weird that like so many like both Bushiroad and Katakawa both work together, but again, we'll see how that pans out. Next, some news for the visual novel lovers out there. Sekai Project announced at its Anime Expo panel on Thursday that it is licensed 9, episode 3. The Ditzy Demons Are in Love with Me fan disc, or the fan disc for Tonkotsu Akuma. What is it? It's Boku to Koi Tsuru Ponkotsu Akuma. So, or Koikuma in Japanese abbreviation. There's Muv-Love Photon Flowers, Amatsusumi, The Seventh Sign, Mr. Sister, Love Sweet Garnish 2, Alice Escape, Tobari 2 Dream Ocean, Victory Project, and the Unity Unions games. And they're all different like visual novels, visual novel hybrids with RPGs, so on and so forth. I believe there's also a Kickstarter that has met its goals for Alcana, which is a Sprite project, which is a Sprite visual novel that released a while back. Sprite had recently declared bankruptcy in the last half year, and so they are no longer existent. But the company that took over, I believe, Nekunyan, has gained the rights to localizing it, and has had a Kickstarter. So a lot of interesting projects coming out soon. So be prepared for that. And final piece of non-person news here. This is actually very interesting. Animation studio Trigger announced at a panel at Anime Expo on Friday that NYAV Post is producing the English dub of the studio's Promare anime film. Trigger itself is supervising the dub, including making the casting choices. I'm not sure what this I'm not sure why Trigger is having such a is there really a point to them having this much of a heavy hand? And it's not like the director is gonna be like, yeah, that person speaks English way better than this other person. like near a dark test. What do you guys think?
Yes.
I mean, certainly a decision they are making. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know why. It's,
I don't know
like,
why
it's
people who probably don't natively speak English would be trying to
involved in the casting
supervise an
decision.
English dub.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess like it's worked out very well before when they used to do that for like PlayStation 1 games like Resident Evil. It worked out really well for them then, so I think them doing that again could be pretty fun.
Very, very interesting. Nier. Nier isn't dead. What do you think about this? Nier is dead.
Well, I suppose he is dead.
He's no longer with us.
Maybe Nier is working out.
Yeah, Nier is working out in Canada right now. But yeah, it's definitely
he's jealous of the muscles, and he wants to get that protein fix.
I'm almost thinking this is, I wouldn't say a publicity stunt necessarily, but just something that they're almost kind of just using to make more outreaches in terms of like working with international companies. You know what I mean? Where it's like they just want a stronger hand in things in general, and it's not really specifically about right? I think that's sort of how I want to put it.
I mean,
But,
I guess I would hope that they don't seriously think that
mess with
they're
the
going to
English
do a
stuff.
great job at picking out people for a fucking English dub, but
Yeah. But
You want an English dub, Dark?
no, I don't actually.
Why not?
I very much don't.
we need to also move on. But yeah, we'll see how that goes on. Next, and just two pieces of people news here. Agency 81 Produce announced on Monday that voice actor Yuzuru Fujimoto passed away due to heart failure on June 10th at the age of 83. He voiced roles as
Yes.
Mr. Ajiko. He voiced Genjiro Murata. He did Dakwa in Ninja Scroll, Terukichi Miyata in The Sound of Waves, Zero and Apocalypse Zero, so forth. Please wish his family, friends, condolences. And the other piece of news here is voice actress Aimi Tanaka revealed on Wednesday that she was hospitalized and underwent an unspecified surgery sometime in the past 2 weeks, that she has fully recovered and has returned to work. She described her hospitalization as a quote-unquote hellish time. She explained that she revealed on, this is just like why she's explaining why she wasn't on social media for a while. But again, please wish her the quickest of recoveries. She has returned to work, but obviously she's probably going to take a little bit more of a while to be in full condition, but definitely not good that she was just kind of almost randomly hospitalized. Anyways, Ivy Tanaka, again, known for her role as Umaru in Himoto Umaru-chan. She did stuff like some other smaller series. She had roles in Twin Angel Break, Show by Rock, Tsukar, Anima Yell, and Ueno-san, How Comes You Are, Miss Ueno, or Ueno-san, Bukigyo, I think. Bukigyo, I think, is how the Japanese title goes. So again, wish her a speedy recovery, and hopefully she doesn't have to go to the hospital. And with that,
She better be okay. Spire.
I mean, I'm hoping that too. I don't know why.
Wait. She's the Black General? That's an anime? When?
Yes.
What?
I forget
What?
when it came out.
I know. Well, why didn't you tell me?
But anyways,
Why didn't you tell me? I want it.
Why did I tell you? I didn't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
dude?
man. I want
give him a call.
Yeah, I want to.
As soon as it was
should've
announced.
What? I'm gonna
should've
watch
just
it
called
right
Toast.
now. Excuse me.
He just immediately just ends the stream and goes watches it.
Yeah.
Black General anime.
Anyways,
Oh, it's here.
Toast, can I move on
Oh my
to the
God.
next section? All right. So again, this coming to the last section after the news, and it is as usual the shoutouts and callouts, and everybody gets one shout out and one call out. Shout out is one thing that you want to praise, give 5 out of 5 stars on Yelp. Pat on the head, good luck, so on and so forth, and it can be any one person, place, or thing. And of course, the call out itself is the exact opposite. Salt gives 0, -1 stars on Yelp. Put blistering reviews on Amazon, something that you hate from the deepest depths of your heart, and can be any one thing, person, place, or thing. And we will start with Toast. Shout out and call, please.
So, my shout out is to Fake Grand Order.
Why?
Okay.
So we need to go into story time here.
Please make it succinct if possible.
You all know that one girl, right, that appears every so often.
Oh, the red one.
What?
Yeah, I said the red one.
What does that mean?
The red saber.
Huh? No. No,
Okay, so then
no. That one girl that brings the KFC famous bowl.
Yeah, KFC famous bowl girl. Fuck's sake. I mean, I know about her.
Spire, you know about that one girl, right? The famous bowl girl.
No.
What?
All right, well,
Pioche
there's
knows.
a,
Anyway, what?
I was going to
Go-
just say
go-
briefly, there's a girl who delivers KFC famous bowls right to Toast.
Yeah, and other stuff. She came over and she was all like, "Do you play Grand Order?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's all like, "I need your help with this event," and I'm like, Get that away from me." She's like, let me see your phone," and then I gave her my phone, and then she saw that I didn't have Grand Order, and then she downloaded it, and I'm like, "Oh no."
Okay.
Cause you all know.
Shoutouts, by the way.
Yeah, this is the shout.
Yeah, this shit.
Why are you shouting out
you,
this?
you all know that. Okay, you all know that I like Fate stuff, right?
Yeah?
Yes.
And you all know that the reason I don't play Grand Order is because I like Fate stuff, right?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
For the uninitiated, the reason why I don't play Grand Order is if I play Grand Order, let's just say
Cool.
I'd have significantly less money than I do right now, like a lot less.
Why is this your shout out?
We're getting to that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what
We're
the
getting
shout
to
out
that,
is
Nier.
actually gonna be.
So I'm like so you were in here earlier, Nier. I mean, like I downloaded the game, right? And I'm like, Nier, what's the tutorial? And then Nier told me about the stuff, and then I'm like, Nier, should I do this 10 roll? And then I did the 10 roll, and I did my 10 roll consisted of like what Uriel, Medusa's sister, one of the 3 Gorgons, and then Lancer, and then I got a 4-star saber, and I'm like, is this Nero? Nier, is this Nero? And you're like, no. But then I looked it up, and I got a Siegfried.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you can
this is
get
your
him
shout
on
out,
your
right?
first 10?
And I'm like, oh, I got Sumanai. And then I did the single pull. And then I got nothing. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I did that a few more times during the podcast. Don't tell Spire. And I got nothing either way. I didn't even get a Stolfo.
So is this a shout out or is this call out?
So in all, my shout out is to Grand Order for giving me bad rolls and thus ruining any chance of me playing Grand Order in the near future for now. Cause
This is your shout out?
yeah. Cause so
Yeah, because now he doesn't have to play Grand Order.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no Skahawk in there. There's no Nero, and I'm like, why do I even bother? And then Nero was like, the last Nero Fest was a few months ago, and I'm like, dang. Then I was like, what about Caster Nero? And then Nero's like, what is it? Saber Grand Prix racing thing with all the swimsuits summer event. It's not even here, and I'm like, nice. And so I deleted Grand Order,
No.
and my soul is saved for another indeterminate amount of time.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And my call out is to
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes. What is it?
To that Spire didn't tell me about the Black General anime. I guess. Why didn't you tell me, Spire? That's right up my alley. I thought you and me were in the know about this.
What?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did no.
I,
That's not.
fine. I guess it's for the people who aren't watching Uchimusume. I guess.
What?
Why aren't you watching it?
I mean, I don't need
Nerds.
to watch. I know what's going on in that story. It's gonna be a straight adaptation.
That's it.
Okay. Nier, you want to give us your shoutouts, callouts?
Yeah, sure. Shoutouts to Final Fantasy 14. Shadowbringers. It's pretty flippin' good.
Nice.
My call out's definitely going to be to
Shadowverse?
Shadowverse.
Yes.
But it says here you're Scythe Games' biggest fan.
Yeah.
The
So, the new Shadowverse expansion came out.
Mhm.
And the theme is basically like bringing back, old cards, but in like a new way. Like
Is that the same one where I got the cool new Forte?
no.
Oh, it's another new one. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me boot that up.
Shadowverse brings in new cards like every few months. So, like they bring back Albert, right?
Who's
Um,
Swordcraft
and
Albert.
instead of just being like, haha, he's Storm, instead he's Storm, but he also has like a new trait, and
He doesn't attack twice.
he's got new interactions with followers and stuff like that.
What does he do?
He brings followers onto the board.
So he
Um,
can't storm face for and hit twice.
No,
What? No, then he sucks.
no, he definitely does not. Anyway,
So he's like Otohime in a way.
no, Otohime was not Storm in any way.
Give me the name of this
So
card.
they
Let me
brought
look it up.
back They brought back these two Bloodcraft cards. One of them is Seductress Vampire, which is probably the worst card they've ever made.
What is a reprint of?
The gold card. I'm pretty sure it's like the same name. Seductress Vampire, where she like
Is
the
that the one
gold
where she
Bloodcraft card where you played her and
buffs?
she could damage like whatever, and then she
Mm.
would just heal you.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was what she was. But her new one, let me read this out, just so you make sure.
Do you want me to put the?
Like,
I'll
how
put the
fucking
picture on
stupid
board.
it is.
What's the name of the card?
During your turn, when this card is added to your hand from your deck, Vengeance is not active for you. Reveal it and then banish it. Vengeance is active for you for the rest of this match, even if your leader's defense is more than 10.
Nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Fanfare. Deal 4 damage to an enemy, restore 4 defense to your leader. But the fanfare isn't fucking relevant because you're not going to play this card. The only thing you want this card for is to draw it. Because if you
Right.
draw this card turn 2,
Right. Then
you have vengeance for the rest of the fucking match.
You're just
So-
running free fucking estate right there.
Yeah, you can literally just curve into
whatever.
all of the storm cards imaginable that
Mm.
Bloodcraft has.
Right.
You can pretty much do whatever you want.
Right, exactly. That's
But
pretty
if it wasn't bad enough, they reprinted Urias. You remember Urias, where
Yes, I do.
he was like the 2-point card, where whenever an enemy played a follower, that you dealt damage to the enemy follower or the
Yeah.
enemy leader rather.
Yeah, exactly.
So they reprinted him. They made him a legendary this time.
Okay.
He's a 3 play point, 1/5.
1/5.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like a power creep sim.
It gets better.
I keep
Fanfare.
forgetting.
If Vengeance is active for you, gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Whenever an enemy follower comes into play, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader and restore 1 defense to your leader. And, by the way, they wanted to add more text to this card. So when he's evolved, during your turn, whenever this follower attacks and destroys an enemy follower, if this follower is not destroyed, restore 4 defense to this follower. By the way,
Isn't that essentially all of it?
He evolves into a 5/5.
Into a 5/5.
Yes.
What?
For free. Because
That's-
you're gonna have turn 3, turn 4 vengeance, pretty much every time.
So if you don't kill him, he's always full health. Is essentially what it's.
Yes. And like how many
Or
cards?
rather, if he gets to attack and he eats something, it's free defense there.
Yeah,
Why don't you
it's
just use a
it's-
Bane card?
Because
Because
he's a 3 cost 5/5.
it's 3 cost.
Isn't
Like-
there a 3-cost Bane?
Not with fucking Storm. The thing is, if somebody plays this turn 3, you're not killing this on turn 3. It has 5 health. Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
He's always going to survive unless you have just kill spells, like kill a follower. So as you can imagine, the only thing on ladder right now is Bloodcraft. And it sucks ass.
Classic.
so,
it's like Wonderland Dreams initial like vanilla, right?
It's
like,
worse. I mean, it's worse.
Yeah.
Like, at least Wonderland Dreams, like Wonderland Dreams and Tempest of the Gods were really fucking bad, but like, it was like 2 like real menace classes, right?
Mhm.
Right
So Wonderland
now,
Dreams vanilla was just the
yeah, it was neutral blood, right?
yeah, it was
Which
turn
wasn't
7,
fun.
turn 8, and then you're like, oh, sadness. But
yeah, I mean, neutral blood was like turn fucking 4, right?
yeah, if
Pretty
it managed to get the Tove out correctly, it was pretty much over by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm guessing this has like a faster sort of tempo, so
yeah, I mean, usually like the way it is like the deck can be like turn 1 and you just lose because they can draw Seductress Vampire,
Oh,
they
exactly.
immediately have Vengeance, and you're like, well, like what's the point?
right, exactly.
Like, why even
Yeah.
bother? Because
Right.
guaranteed to be stormed face like on curve every time.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And you don't even need to really pack cards that force vengeance or that lead you towards vengeance. You can just be like, oh, vengeance is good, and then you just play those cards.
Yeah, it's just it's not good. I don't know how these cards got past testing. I don't know how these cards like even got past the ideas board. Like, these cards are fucking bad.
Well,
Like, they're
side
some of the worst designed cards they've ever made.
Shadowverse, like the Shadowverse guy is just again, they've never had like the best balanced team, but it's always been like I don't know. It also doesn't help that like even like Kemono-tachi, like he really likes Shadowverse, but he doesn't have like the faintest clue of what it means to balance a card game. So it's like he apparently like suggests ideas, but they're like half of them are like terrible, or like a lot of them are terrible. So
Yeah,
It's-
I don't know, man. It blows my fucking mind that
Yeah.
2 of the most unbalanced cards in the entire expansion are from the same craft. Like, that's
it
I don't know how that gets past.
also doesn't help that like the way
Designers.
that the vengeance mechanic is, and the way that they've created sort of the initial set of cards, because it's always like if you don't have vengeance, you're kind of like whatever, unless you're playing like aggro or some shit. But if you do have vengeance, it's god. You have all these godlike powers. But the problem has always been,
Well,
unloading after vengeance, right? But it's like, and then once stuff like enablers like Belf happened, right? Blood became more and more powerful. But it was like, it's always like, it's been like a pendulum where it's either super good or like super like dumb.
Well, there's always also been the risk of being in vengeance, right? Like you need to be at 10 health to be in vengeance, or you
Right.
need to play like really awkward amulets and shit, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you can just draw a card and you just get vengeance for the
I
rest of the match, and it's
Yeah.
unremovable.
I definitely I think the better idea has always been when you're talking about the amulet, that like 3 point
The blood
golden
moon, yeah.
yeah, well, not even blood moon, the amulet that like damages you and then heals you back the same amount over time, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
-6, and then it also gives you draw. I've always liked that idea a lot more than just like, oh, you have vengeance. Like that's not really.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. But Shadowverse has always kind of had that sort of like, let's just do things kind of streak, and again very unfortunate.
So
Anyway.
that was your shout out, right? What's your call out?
No, that was their
That was
that was
called-
his shout out was his shout out was
Shadowbringers.
yes Final Fantasy.
Would you recommend it to other people to play Shadowverse?
Not right now, probably.
Not right now. Not really.
Near. Want to fight?
No.
Dark.
Okay.
Got its callouts?
Yeah, so my shout out is also going to be to Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. it was
Who's
really
breaking the
fucking
shadows?
Me. And only me, because I'm really cool. But no, it was really fucking good. I think it's I probably like it more than A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word right now, to be honest. Especially if it like keeps up with what it was. So, really cool dungeons, really cool storyline. Just awesome, honestly.
Okay. And your callout.
My call out is going to be to World of Warcraft because there was another mount in the store, so I have to. What are you doing, Blizzard? Like, you set up a fucking patch and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release our new WoW patch that is gonna like try and salvage our really bad expansion as much as we can. And then they're like, okay, so the patch came out yesterday. All right, guys, it's go time. Time to release the time to release a $25 store mount. Let's go. Like, this is really good timing.
Yeah.
And so in order to get the mount, you either have to pay $25 or you can get a slight discount on a 6-month subscription that comes with the mount if you do that.
So did you
So, no, God, no. I don't even fucking play WoW anymore because I don't like the game. I think this expansion is horrible. And the big thing is that they're just trying to lock people in for 6 months. Now, there have been some tinfoil hat theories too that I kind of subscribe to that they're doing this right now because, they released the new patch, get people hyped with the patch that are playing, lock them in now for 6 months. Because in 6 months, that's going to be December, obviously. And right before that, in November, is BlizzCon. So people are kind of confused as to like, how's this patch cycle for WoW gonna work? Because the patch just released, and usually they're 4 to 5 month cycles. And it's like if you hit the 5 months, you're hitting on BlizzCon. It's like it would be really weird for them to what news are you then gonna have for WoW at BlizzCon? Like, are you gonna really announce like that much for a new expansion? already. Like, everyone expects a new expansion announcement, but are you going to have that many details to share about it to cover your entire, like, WoW section? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing now becomes is, are they just not going to have content until January, which is past the 6-month discount they just released?
Right. They're just gonna
So
they're gonna cockplug everybody.
yeah, it's like, you subscribe for 6 months. By the way, here's only one patch of content for that 6 months. So I'm kind of subscribing to that because like the timeline falls together for that to be the case. It's gonna be very weird for them not to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, store mounts are very bad. They're bad for the game. Why would you pay more money to buy a reward when the rewards that are in the game aren't as cool?
Yeah. Oh.
Cool. Spire, what's your shout out call out?
So my shout out is to actually, it's actually pretty funny because it's along the lines of the Dumbbell discussion we had. It's actually to I want to say like workout help videos online and stuff like that. I've been watching quite a decent amount of them just to help me correct my form, get ideas for some more isolation stuff I can do in my downtime when I have 10-15 minutes left at the gym and I want to maybe get in a couple more sets in, stuff like that. So that a lot of them have been a pretty good help, and just trying to fix a couple more of my kinks and stuff like the overhead press and so on, and I'll be on my way. As for my call out, it is definitely to Niji Sanji. So I've been saying this for quite a long time, but as much as I appreciate virtual YouTuber stuff for helping to bring
Who is Niji Sanji again?
Niji Sanji is one of the major virtual YouTuber sort of agencies.
Is that
They both have
Alamiya
the What the fuck are you talking about?
Which one is Niji Sanji? I don't.
It's
No,
an
it's-
agency.
It's an
Toast.
agency,
Okay.
Toast. Okay.
It's not an actual fucking virtual YouTuber.
Well then, who do they?
They have a lot of people, but the most famous of them is the JK Gumi, like Tsukinomito, Shizuka Rin, Higuchi Kaede, so on and so forth.
Okay. She's the Kunko one, right?
I don't know which one is the Kunka. I mean, a lot of them are kind of like that, right? So I'm not entirely sure. But
Okay.
yeah, okay. So I'm kind of. I mean, again, I've been very appreciative to what virtual YouTuber technology has done in terms of bringing people that usually would be shy or usually would be kind of announced as just like cam girls to stream, to be more free to broadcast stuff like that, more shy people to broadcast games and kind of become internet famous without facing too much of the repercussions of just having their face out there all the time, right? But a lot of these Japanese agencies and companies are sort of starting to, I mean, not starting to, but they have been taking a lot of advantage. They've been, for instance, rotating a lot of people out. Like Niji Sanji, for instance, have a lot of people under their belt, under their sort of umbrella, right? So recently, they've been sort of forcefully retiring, or more or less kind of quietly, kind of like shutting down a lot of people, and kind of ushering in a lot of new people, and kind of keeping this revolving door of people coming in and out, and just new personalities. Hopefully, one of them will become a big hit, so on and so forth. And whenever new personalities they come in, they just have this like huge stream where they just pump sort of like I want to say they're probably bot viewers, because it's like there's no way one like the first ever stream of a completely random virtual YouTuber just casually has like 16K viewers watching like at the very beginning of the stream. I don't think that's an actual thing. So
Was she cute?
it wasn't even a girl. It was just a random dude.
A dude? What?
So and
That's
yeah,
suspicious.
there were like 16K people on YouTube gaming, or YouTube streaming, which usually
Yeah,
isn't.
okay, 16 people. I don't even think there's 16,000 people that fucking watch YouTube gaming
Yeah,
in total.
yeah. Was he cute? The avatar was okay, I guess. But
Like
yeah.
how cute? Like Astolfo cute? Or like
No, it wasn't a trap. It was just like a regular like schoolboy kind of thing.
what? That's boring.
Yeah, but so they're most likely like botting and stuff like that too, just to drive up view counts and kind of keep the train rolling. But if you think about it, I mean, like the avatars and stuff aside, these are real sort of careers that a lot of these younger people, and they are younger people. They're probably people that are 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and going on older and going into their almost reaching 30s, who are probably more responsible. But there are also plenty of people who are probably much younger, who are again don't really know as much about the real world and kind of getting sucked into this stuff, and then not only getting sucked in, probably getting a very raw end of the deal, having to kind of run around, do whatever, like randomly singing, being at random events, whatever, going to random offices, and then getting spat out at the end. And that's obviously not healthy, right? So I'm really, really worried, honestly, about the future direction that these Japanese companies are kind of forcing virtual YouTubers in. And I just hope that, we don't hear some really like bad shit like suicide or anything happening in the future. So that's my call out.
Who was the virtual YouTuber that had to get over it like 100 times before they could stop, or whatever?
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but it was like it was for like she wanted to clear it like 50 times to
Yeah,
get like
something
the
like
golden pot or whatever. Yeah. I forget who it was. I know who you're talking about, but it was. I saw that. I was like,
Did she clear it?
Yeah, I think she did clear out. Yeah,
Good.
but it was a while. But yeah. Again, that was my call out. So again, hopefully we won't see anything too bad in the near future.
Spire, how do you feel about Kizuna-ai?
Kizuna Ai is doing some weird shit, so I don't really want to comment on that unless some whack ass scandal happens, or
Oh,
like the
there will
Chinese eye,
be. There will
or
be.
some like the Chinese eye and the Japanese eye start duking it out or something weird. But anyway,
Who do you think would win? Pretty sure.
Japanese eye.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Too much power level, but
But I mean,
with-
do you think Chinese Kizuna-ai would win if they were fighting in like Azur Lane?
in Australia maybe. But yeah, that was my shout out and call out. And with that, we are done with everybody's shout outs and call outs and done with the last part of the episode. Again, we apologize if there were some other series you wanted to hear about. There were a lot of sort of, a couple of series that are available and a lot of other maybe better series that we could have covered in our first episode that we didn't because they weren't out yet. A lot of involved series, so the episodes that we'll be doing will get much better as we go on throughout the season for sure.
Don't worry, Spire. Tomorrow is when the real season starts.
All right, and yeah, so check us out in future episodes. We'll be doing a lot more, bigger names as well. A lot of interesting stuff coming up, and if you do like what we do, we broadcast our live recording of the podcast every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast, starting with the number 4. We're talking about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, and the rest. So if you want to check us out, follow us here, follow us on our social media, on Facebook and Twitter. Our handle is at 4PlayerAnimecast, also with the number 4. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has the VODs as well as our Twitch VODs that are available here. So follow us out here, follow us out there. And with that, we'll see you next time.
Bye.